Astarter are building a DeFi hub in the Cardano ecosystem, and they're doing a lot of interesting things around the ISPO aspects. So this is the initial stake pool offerings that you can find in the Cardano ecosystem, but they're using a method that they call merge staking, where you can delegate to a community stake pool, so a regular stake pool that you find in the Cardano ecosystem, but then also earn project tokens. And this all comes around their DeFi hub, where they'll have a launch pad, money markets, the DEX, and everything else around it. And the merge staking is another aspect of that to try and help distribute tokens to the ecosystem. So when a project launches, you can get them into the hands of the community. So it's a really interesting concept. It's found elsewhere on some other projects too, and I really like this model. Now, JC joins me. He's the marketing and community manager for the team there at Astarter, and we go through a whole bunch of these aspects as well as a little bit more detail into what the guys are providing at Astarter as well. Now, this interview was done back in December 2022, but a lot of the information is still applicable. Make sure you check out their blog posts on Medium where you get more up-to-date information, but I'll put all the links in the show notes down for you. You can find out more at learncardano.io. Let's get into it.
No, informative. Crypto's the future, really it ain't.
Now, Astarter is termed as a DeFi infrastructure hub on Cardano. Can we go into exactly what that means and what Astarter is trying to achieve in the Cardano ecosystem?
Okay, so as a DeFi infrastructure hub, Astarter is developing a suite of core applications. So it's an ecosystem accelerator, if you like, bringing projects into the ecosystem, helping them get to market, helping them with tech services. So it's things such as the one-click token issuance is a good example of that. It takes away a lot of the technical barriers that projects can face. With that, we also have the automated market maker, decentralized exchange, which Astarter decentralized exchange, ADAOZ, that gives them a platform to launch their tokens and set up trading pairs and so on and so forth. We then have a lending and borrowing system, the money market for Astarter money markets, and the tech services, which brings in more technical services and Oracle services through works within the core suite of applications. So when we talk about DeFi infrastructure, that's what we're talking about. Been developing in the background for some time, building the tools and the code base for that suite of applications.
Very cool. And I did have a play around with a demo and a testnet of all this a little while ago. And the one-click token issuer it's just a time saver. So if anyone actually wanted to do that, like I did it originally via command line and worked my way through it. But this really does take away a lot of the complexity, and plus the launch pad and everything else around it just makes it a little bit easier for projects and whatnot. Now, with all of that being built and the ecosystem growing around you guys at the moment, what type of projects have you seen approach you guys for these type of services, or who are you trying to target specifically, or what type of client in the ecosystem?
The thing that we look for, we set quite a high bar in terms of onboarding projects. So to access the Astarter suite of applications, we have a process of looking at the projects, doing an amount of due diligence, and checking that they meet certain criteria. And we recently announced a partnership with the decentralized KYC platform, Fractal. And you can see that on our Medium article. So there's KYC for the project. So we've set a high bar. We want to bring quality projects to the ecosystem. The reason for that is, as a launchpad, what we're doing is we're providing a service to investors that are looking for projects to invest. And they will rely on us doing that due diligence. They'll rely on the quality of the projects that are coming through that platform. So it's important that we have that criteria in place to be able to do our due diligence and to be able to give some confidence to the investors that are looking for flows of projects to invest in, that they have undergone an amount of due diligence. So we're calling that extended criteria. That's a combination of the verification criteria that we set as a ecosystem accelerator and the verification process that Fractal have in place through their decentralized KYC. So we're focusing on the projects in that area. And in terms of flows of projects, we partner. We are partnered with several accelerators that look for platforms to be able to present to projects coming to market. So we have a platform for flows of projects coming to market that meets the criteria for investors that are looking for projects to invest in.
For the projects that are coming on board on your platform and using all your services, what benefits do they get out of it? And it sounds like opening the doors up to potential investors is quite a large one for them. So any of these projects that need have larger teams, need to pay for developers or whatever it is, infrastructure, whatever it is,
exactly.
Having the projects vetted through whatever
Yes.
you guys do, which is one really cool thing, and then having a KYC to make sure they're actual legitimate real people that could be chased up in legal terms, I'm assuming, then is giving the various investors a better feeling to be able to invest into those various projects. What type of investors are there, these VCs that are coming on board with you guys and potentially investing in projects that come through Astarter?
We've talked with and we partners. You can look at our website, see some of our partners. And it's not just the investors, it's also developers that are looking to create projects. So they can come through various sources that would direct them to us in order to look at what they're looking to build and give them some support in terms of things such as tokenomics. We've worked extensively with our tokenomics to bring good tokenomics to the market as well.
Tokenomics is hard. It's not an easy thing.
It is, and some people think, well, you create a token, put it out there, but it's a bit more involved than that. There's analysts that work on that sort of thing that can help with that, and we can direct them in that way. Okay, so we can offer that support as well as going to market, marketing support, and really getting them in front of investors that are looking for projects. So we do an amount of work for that, and then that gives the investors confidence that they've got this place where they can go and find flows of projects coming to market. But also with the market being as it is, we're also looking at new ways, and we developed a launch pool to complement our launchpad. So the launchpad is predominantly IDO, that's initial DEX offerings. We also developed this launch pool, which we developed after an exploration of ISPOs on Cardano. So we met with state pool operators and community members and did a thorough analysis of ISPOs on Cardano, which is a method of using existing capital to invest in projects through stake delegating ADA to state pools. And one of the things we found with that was that it's twofold. There's fundraising and there's marketing and token distribution elements to ISPO. So it's and with current market conditions, that's it's low risk. Okay, it's minimal risk because you're using existing capital in self-custody wallets that can be delegated to a state pool. So you always retain capital, and in return, you receive project tokens. Okay. So we wanted to develop that not only for our own project as a startup coming to market, but also to be able to offer that as a service offering to projects that are looking to launch through our DeFi infrastructure hub. So that complements the IDO platform, the Launchpad platform. So we have now have Launch Pool and Launchpad, and the Launchpad facilitates that ISPO aspect. We took the approach to develop a two-stage ISPO to be able to leverage both the fundraise and the token distribution and marketing element ISPOs.
That is very cool. I do love ISPOs, initial state pool offerings. That they came about, when was it? 2021, mid 2021, I think it was. And it really took the Cardano ecosystem by storm, really. So anyone that was staking on Cardano realized there's more opportunities here to gain some of these tokens. And like you said, non-custodial, you don't give up your initial holdings of ADA. And it's a really nice mechanism. So it's a very, very low risk.
It's nice that it takes advantage of the live liquid staking within the Cardano staking ecosystem, because that is something unique to, I don't know of another proof of stake chain that has anything like that, where you don't have to send your coins to a smart contract. You can hold them within your wallet, stake them, and they're liquid at all times. There's no unlock period and so on. So just through holding the coins, the ADA coin in a wallet, I'm earning project tokens. And that is either or in place of the normal ADA rewards in terms of the fundraise. So I'd be getting project tokens, and that would be through delegating to a pool that has a margin set that gives the majority of the rewards to the project, or through a token distribution and marketing method where I'm earning the ADA rewards as normal and some amount of project tokens as well. So it's creating awareness and distribution of the tokens. So different methods, and it's all because the pools can be set and configured in various different ways, but they, in both cases, it's self-custody of that ADA, and it's, as we say, minimal risk, because you still retain the ADA. So there's no capital outlay. As more and more people realize that the potential of that liquid staking within Cardano, and that what it has over other proof of stake staking systems.
But perhaps you need to go stake on other protocols and see how painful it is. And then do a comparison, and then you can come back and stake Cardano.
You just have to look at Lido, right? And to stake there, you read the risks. The first risk is that let's hope the smart contract doesn't get hacked. And then if we do a search, EVM smart contract hacks, you're probably going to think, hang on a minute, I want to be a bit careful with the amount that I stake. But with Cardano, it's not like that, because you retain custody within your wallet. You don't have to send that ADA to a smart contract. And then if you are looking at staking to a smart contract, well, one, they're not EVM, they're native Haskell Plutus smart contracts, which is, built on this sort of solid foundation of functional programming, right? So it's a different sort of underlining smart contract platform as well, which is, a different area altogether when we start talking about the smart contract development and leveraging the security of developing in Plutus Haskell smart contracts as opposed to EVM. And that's not saying that, anything wrong with EVM, but what tends to happen is we're seeing a lot of DeFi protocols that are forking existing DeFi protocols, right? So they're basically forking the code and getting quick speed to market. So they're also forking bugs. And, we can look back at, I think there was a parity hack some years ago, which was one of the founders of Ethereum that had used the multi-sig contract, basically forked and used an existing smart contract for their multi-sig, and therefore also had a bug within their system because they didn't verify the code thoroughly. And that led to them losing a lot of funds for ICO or something.
Since we're talking about ISPOs, you guys are running an ISPO at the moment, aren't you?
Yes, indeed. As I said, we developed the launch pool for ISPO, which is a two-stage ISPO. The first stage is what we call the fundraising ISPO, where you can delegate to the Astarter AA1 stake pool. So you can delegate your ADA and you will earn rewards in our project native Cardano native token, which is the AA token. And that's straightforward. Simply delegate to the pool through your self-custody, through your wallet of choice, and we have a interface on our website, a portal where you can go and calculate the amount of rewards you would earn per epoch. So that's every 5 days. And you can also look at the rewards generated over time as well. And we have various incentives for multipliers and so on for that as well, that can increase the rewards for participating in that stage. We then have a second stage, which we're calling the merge staking protocol. And that's a bit more complicated. It's still delegating ADA in the same way, but it works on the distribution of AA tokens in a more targeted way. So, and we also wanted to bring the community in on this one, with the first stage it being a 99% stake pool and the rewards being in the native AA token. It makes it difficult for community pools to operate, to participate in that. So you're limited to being able to having to stake to Astarter's AA stake pool, right, which is AA1. But with the second stage, we wanted to be able to, and you can think of infrastructure again here, because if we think of stake pool operators being decentralized infrastructure for Cardano, to be able to involve those stays in line with the whole principle of decentralized finance, DeFi, right? So when we talk about the D in DeFi, we're talking about leveraging the underlying infrastructure, which is stake pools, because they're verifying transactions on the chain and keeping that decentralization. So it's important that we, when developing the protocol, the merge staking protocol for the second phase of the ISPO, and bear in mind, we also want to be able to offer this to projects that are launching on our platform. It was important that we could include stake pool operators, and we wanted to do that in a decentralized way as possible, so permissionless and trustless way. So we developed a program for stake pool operators to participate in the second stage. So then delegators can choose a stake pool, a community stake pool. They get rewarded their ADA in the normal way through delegating to a community stake pool. And with their AA tokens, if they stake those within the Astarter ecosystem, because in stage 2, our platform will be launched and we will have various staking elements, whether that's staking within the launch pad, staking within the DEX or the money market, participating in our ecosystem. So it's come try our ecosystem, use our token, experience DeFi on Cardano, and delegate your ADA to a community stake pool that's participating in the program. You will earn a good reward of tokens, native AA tokens, on top of your ADA for doing that. So it's a bit more targeted. It's rewarding those with skin in the game, those that want to know about the token and learn about it, as opposed to a blanket sort of distribution to anybody that's staking to a stake pool. So we call that merge staking because it's a combination of both delegating to a community stake pool and staking within the Astarter ecosystem.
I do like that merging aspect of it. So community pools, great, fantastic. But then actually getting users to participate in your ecosystem as well. So it's not just a delegate to a pool, get the tokens, buy, sell, trade, and see you later. It's forcing them back into that ecosystem, and that's really important for projects that are coming to you guys that don't want their tokens just dumped in the ecosystem straight away. They want people to be involved within the GameFi platform or whatever is being built. So that's a really good onboarding and pathway for users into the ecosystem. So that's a pretty smart way of doing it.
It comes back to tokenomics and quality of projects, right? Because a part of tokenomics is the utility of the token. So if the utility of your token adds value to your project by, as you say, forcing users to come in and try the ecosystem, that adds utility to the token. That adds to the tokenomics and the quality of the projects that are using that method, that are adopting that method, as opposed to just putting the token into the hands of, as you say, anybody, and they might just go sell the token, trade the token, might not even know they have the token in their wallets, because it's been distributed to them and they didn't know they were getting it. Whereas if there's this incentive to actually come, try the product, try the staking within the ecosystem, you're learning about the token, you experiencing
Precisely,
something new, and you're getting a reward. And the ecosystem is built on incentives and rewards, so we feel that there's a good alignment.
All right, this is my last question about the platform, and of course, all the projects are coming to you guys using your services. This is, a big benefit for them. But what's the cost involved for a project? So, me as a project coming to you guys using all your DeFi infrastructure, what does it cost me to use all these services and tools?
Right, yeah, there is a percentage. I can't say what that percentage is right now. It's I might say the wrong percentage, so it's best I don't.
I'm sure it would vary from project to project as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is get in touch with us, fill the form in, meet with our teams. We're happy to meet with projects and discuss those directly with projects. It's not actually my side; it's on the business development side, the team that deals with that. I often do sit in with project meetings as well and meet them, and we kind of discuss bars, what we're looking for in terms of criteria as well. So, there is costs obviously, and it's moderate costs, and it's those enable us to be able to operate as a business as well. So, it's important that we have fair costs and bring projects to market in a fair way with fair distributions. And, I think adding that launch pool element helps with that. But and then other things such as participating in the DEX, adding liquidity to liquidity pools. There's fees for users that are providing liquidity. They can earn a portion of those fees as well for providing liquidity. As well as merge staking as well, when they would also get merge staking rewards. So potential there for not only adding liquidity, earning a portion of the fees, but through adding liquidity to the DEX, you would also be potential to be participating in the merge staking protocol if you're delegating ADA to a pool that is participating in that as well. So, not only as a project for us to earn fees, but also for ecosystem participants to be able to earn rewards for participating in the ecosystem. So a lot of incentive alignment.
Now, I did have another question here that just came to mind, and I know Emergo is involved with the Astarter project. What's the partnership and relationship between Astarter and Emergo? And for those that don't know, Emergo is the commercial arm, one of the founding entities of the Cardano blockchain.
Yeah, we have a very healthy relationship with Emergo. We meet regularly with the team and discuss our project development. Certainly on the technical front, in the background, there's a lot of work going on between developers and Emergo. And also on the operations side, we meet regularly. They are a backer of our project. Then they provide immense support for our project, which is extremely valuable. And I think in terms of the level of support that we receive, we are without doubt one of the early ventures that Emergo entered into in the ecosystem. You can read that going back to, I think it was September 21 when it was first announced, the partnership between Emergo and Astarter. And they since published articles discussing a joint venture that they had entered into with Astarter, which all started with the idea of bringing projects into the Cardano ecosystem. As you know, Emergo as an education provider, ecosystem accelerator, so they have flows of projects, developers and investors looking for projects and so on. So it kind of all aligns in terms of what they're doing within the ecosystem, which is a lot of development, a lot of education, right? So
JC, thank you so much for joining me on this interview and talking about Astarter and everything around it as well. I absolutely love what you guys are building.
It's a pleasure.
And I can't wait for 2023 and see what you guys come up with as well.
Thank you, Pete. It's great to be here.
Now, like I said, all the show notes at our website, learncardano.io. You can find all the links, references, and everything that we mentioned in there as well. Please make sure you check out their blog post on Medium to get the latest and up-to-date information. Now, if you really enjoyed this episode, give me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell, and you'll hear a lot more Cardano-related content from me real soon. See you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debating.